Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for organic Bible study that's fresh and delicious. And why is it fresh and delicious? Because it's made from 100% Bible. It's responsibly handled, and it's locally sourced. It's what we like to call the Bible Bistro. Come on in here, sit down. We're looking today at verses 8 and 9. Is that right? Yeah, 8 and 9. 8 and 9, and we have some very interesting text here we want to talk about today. But first of all, I just mentioned in passing yesterday verse 7. So I want to go back to verse 7. Verse 7 of Psalm 42 is where I want to begin today. And I read this yesterday. Deep calls to deep. The sound of your waterspouts, all of your breakers and your billows, they've passed over me. Comes also in Jonah chapter 2, verse 4. Now, Jonah chapter 2 is one of the great prayers in the Bible. If you don't know that, but of course I know you do know that because my listeners are Bible-savvy people, go to Jonah chapter 2 and just read through that prayer. It is a prayer of humility. It is a prayer of contrition and repentance. It is a prayer that glorifies the sovereign, powerful, wonderful working hand of God. You should go there and read it, and you'll find these words there as well. It could be that Jonah adopted these words for his prophecy, for his book that he wrote, or it could be that the psalmist adopted those words from Jonah. Somewhere out there may have been another piece of poetry that was used for both. Either way, it's inspired, and when you read this, you think of Jonah because he was under those billows. They did actually pass over him, those breakers and those billows, as he sunk down into the deeps, as he said, to the root of the mountains. Today we're looking at 8 and 9. Daytime the Lord commanded his mercy. In the nighttime his song is within me. A prayer to the God of my life. I will say to God my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning? Because of the oppression of the enemy. Here's another one of those phrases that we're going to find over in Psalm 43. Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemies? Found also in Psalm 43. So there's a lot here that's over there in Psalm 43. And Psalm 43 is only 5 verses. So a lot of these refrains come right over into Psalm 43 and make up quite a bit of that text in that psalm. Daytime the Lord commanded his mercy, in the nighttime his songs. So we had a day and a nighttime back in verse 3. If you'll recall that, my tears have been my bread day and night. But here we're not talking about tears. We're talking this time about mercy and his song. What is that? His song is within me. Well, it's that song of remembrance. It's that song of thanksgiving. You see, his soul is cast down within him. What are you going to do in that case? Well, let's sing. Let's remember the goodness of God. Let's contemplate his wonder-working power and the hope that we have in his promises. There's where we put ourselves when our soul is cast down. So daytime, he commanded his mercy. Nighttime, his song is within me, a prayer. There you go. So this song he's singing is a prayer to the God of my life. Wow, that's gorgeous. I will say to God my rock, why have you forgotten me? And why do I go mourning? Because of the oppression of the enemy. Well, there's the enemy again, and we know what they're doing, right? They're going around saying, hey, where's your God? How come he's not doing something? You preach it all the time about the goodness of God. How come God's not doing anything for you? Yeah. So the oppression of the enemy is very present here for the psalmist. And he's reminding the Lord, this is happening, and I'm being oppressed. Have you forgotten me? You know, he's a little bit of complaining goes on here, some lamenting of his condition while he's praying to the Lord. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, join me again tomorrow. We'll look at verses 10 and 11 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.